going to be the most fucking scuffed episode we've ever had.
Oh yeah. Also,
This is episode 4.
episode 4. Also to introduce to we have a guest today. Unfortunately, Jimmy can't be with us today, but we do have a guest today. This is Sam Warden.
I've
You've run up.
replaced him.
You've replaced
Yeah,
him. False. However, it's nice to have you on the show, my dude.
Thanks for having me.
absolutely. Yeah, so today's been a bit of a day.
Yeah.
Didn't go according to plan mostly. Um, I guess so basically what had happened was me and my friend Joan, we were building a PC and we got it like
It's like 90.
90%
Yeah,
of it.
90.
Yeah.
90. No, we were literally like at like the. It's like the finish line, and then someone shot our knees.
And then blue shell and then we're dead. And then we figured out the issue, but it's an issue that can't be resolved until tomorrow because everything is closed because at time of recording it is 10 p.m.
Yes. And I was there approximately 30 minutes ago. 30 to. No, well, it's been about an
Yeah.
hour. It's been about an hour, give or take. But,
So, yeah,
anyways,
that was our day.
yeah.
A lot of trial and error, a
A
lot
lot
of
of-
me like wondering what was going on because I know nothing about computers.
And me wanting to shoot my head because I was like, I thought I did this right. And to my
It's
surprise.
not it's not that you did anything wrong. I think it was just we got some scuffed equipment.
We got scuffed equipment because um, I'm not gonna put blame on anyone, but it's just like the equip like okay, the part itself is like the drive won't save data, or it'll save data, get super slow, and then when I restart the computer, it won't boot past Windows. But that's an issue for tomorrow, and I think we'll have it figured out by then. Um, so
And then
now
I'll be gaming.
and then we'll be gaming. Oh yeah, twitch.tv/Nicholas Graz.
Hell yeah.
Um, but we have our guest Sam here today, and I think it's fair because I'd say all three of us are pretty avid gamers. But I think it'll be cool to kind of talk about how we grew up gaming question mark and like
Yeah.
some of the media that we went through as that we grew up. By the way, this is gonna be a shorter episode because I'm about to die and very weak right now. Um, after all that happened today. But yeah, I think because like personally, like a lot of my interests kind of like stemmed from what I did growing up, and a lot of that was playing games. Even though like I had parents that were like, why the hell are you always playing games? And sometimes it'd just be like, I didn't have a lot of friends, etc. Or even if I did have friends, all they did was play games. So that's what I tried to do to kind of, I guess, fall in the loop.
True.
But I guess I'll just start this conversation. Kind of what I grew up on, and it's kind of strange that I did this. So just for a point of information, I was born around 2000, and the console that I grew up playing was actually, it wasn't the GameCube, it wasn't the Wii, it was the Nintendo 64. So something from like I think it was like 1996, and I think my mom got it from like a hand me down from like a friend or something like that. But all I remember is growing up playing like Star Fox, like Mario 64, and like Glover, and Rayman,
Oh.
and Rayman 2, The Great Escape. That's kind of like where I started. Until my brother spilled Mountain Dew on it and bricked it, and this was like when I was like 5 or something like that.
I feel like a lot of your consoles have to do with like spilling stuff on it. And funnily enough, my first DSi got absolutely destroyed because of a Capri Sun that spilled on it.
Oh, fun fact! I think Mountain Dew for me, personally, Mountain Dew is is the game a drink, but it has destroyed the most amount of consoles I've ever owned.
I was gonna say, I feel like you have
Because
multiple stories
Mountain Dew is
with
just like a nightmare. It's not even gamer fuel anymore. It's nightmare fuel. Because every time I see it, it's just like, what has Mountain Dew ruined for me? Not
PTSD.
Yeah, I have PTSD. I'm saying right now, I think Mountain Dew is a delicious soda. It's terrible for you, but it's a delicious soda. And if you have to do, I think if you do have to drink Mountain Dew, I'd say just drink Diet, or not at all.
Or
But
Baja Blast.
or Baja Blast, Baja Blast. But yeah, like I had a 3DS too, like the newer version, that also had Mountain Dew spilled on it and it destroyed it. And I tried to fix it myself because I'm kind of into. If it didn't make it apparent, I'm kind of into like tech stuff. Um, but it just didn't work, and so I kind of gave up on it because I didn't have like the tools or like the expertise to fix like soda damage. But I remember like, so back on topic of what I did growing up, I remember like very vividly playing Mario 64. That's like the one game I think I played the most. It's like playing Mario 64, going to kindergarten. I was like, I think I had it till I was like 7 something, because it was like it was before first grade where it got destroyed, but it was like that gap. But it was like I'd play Mario 64, or I'd be doing the same level in Glover because I couldn't figure the game out, or I'd be playing Rayman, but every time I play Rayman, it'd be the same map because whenever I went to go save, because I didn't have like that save pack, like you know what I'm talking about. It's like it's in the controller. It's like
Mhm.
the chunk that's like, yeah, save file and stuff. We didn't have
Oh.
that, so whenever we played games, it would never save. So basically, in order for me to complete a
Yeah.
game, I'd have to 100% it in one sitting.
Oh.
And so, and then it, like, I just slowly was just like, I'm just gonna play the first couple levels over and over again, um, until the incident happened in which we lost the Nintendo 64. But that's besides the point. I also kind of grew up in like the era where like the Game Boy was kind of popping,
Yeah,
like the game, not the
baby.
Game Boy Color, like the Game Boy Advance and stuff. So because I grew up in I grew up in like the grindy nature kind of. Once I got to the Game Boy, a game that I played like an absurd amount, like to the point where it was scary, was Pokemon. And oh my god, did I play Pokemon? I think I completed the Ho Index, like for Gen 3, because I played Ruby or I had Ruby and Emerald. I didn't have Sapphire because I hated Blue. But oh, bye Nick.
Oh boy.
Oh, here he comes back.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh,
I was going through servers and like reading all the channels because I don't like the notification.
mm-hmm.
And then I accidentally clicked on a voice channel.
Oh. But anyways, yeah. Um, yeah, I just hated the color blue, so I didn't get Sapphire. But
Oh.
beat I beat Ruby, lost it, and then 100%ed Emerald, and this is when I was like 8 or 9. So this is also I think at this point the DS had come out, but it took me forever to do that, to 100% it. And it took a lot of coercing from my friends who had like either Sapphire, because I couldn't get like the other Pokemon. So it'd be like, hey man, just let me borrow it for like a couple days, and they'd be like, no. And then I think what I did was I like traded. I think at the time it was like Bakugan or something like that.
Hmm.
Like I let them play with my Bakugan in exchange for like, or I gave them my Bakugan because I bought a couple, and then like they were never interesting to me, so I just like, you can have
Give
this.
away.
Dude,
Yeah, give
I
it away.
remember I remember like first buying Bakugan and being like, "Yeah, I got Bakugan." And then I went home. I'm like, "All right, now what?"
Yeah, it it's a cool concept.
It is a cool concept. It's a cool show.
Yeah.
It was a very cool show, but in practice,
Oh,
the idea of just like throwing
toys
balls at like
throwing.
magnets, it was
Hard.
at that point like it was like way too convoluted for a kid to understand.
Mhm.
At least that's what I feel like. I don't know if there are any people that are like, what are you talking about? Bakugan's the easiest shit in the
That's
world.
how they get
And
you.
like,
Yeah, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh kind of, cause like I guess I guess like basically to sum it up, Japan, the climate for like their toys are fucking nuts because like they have kids are growing up playing like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. Some kids are growing up playing Fire Emblem, and it's just like, how do you
Yeah.
yeah, how do you do
Yeah.
that? And like, how do you have the brain to do? And then like especially in Japan, they're like that crazy climate of I need to study and get into like international school. Like I need to get to Harvard from like Japan, or I need to get to like the top school in Tokyo or something like that. So it's like, and I need
Right.
to go to college, etc. And it's just like I feel like the gaming dynamic there is crazier. Also, like culturally, it's just more diverse. But it's just
Yeah.
like in terms of like their gaming content, because I'd say for the U.S. it's kind of mostly just like you have like platformers and then you have like shooters and I can't like describe another like I can't even describe like a strategy game that's like purely US if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know like I cuz I grew up
hmm.
I grew up on Nintendo and that's like kind of where I get my interest from.
Yeah.
It's just cuz I just grew up playing Nintendo games. Um
Oh yeah.
so it basically kind of sums up what I did. I don't know. Nick, what about you?
For me growing up, I do remember the first console I ever played. It was a GameCube. The GameCube was, well, it might have been an N64, but I'm almost positive my first ever video game that I vividly remember was Mario Kart Double Dash.
Ooh.
That game was so much fun. Me, my brother, and my sister would all just like we would spend hours playing that game and trying to like beat the game because again with the GameCube, the same thing with like the save slot for whatever.
Yeah, like
Um,
the cartridges.
yeah, you needed to have a memory card, and growing up, we didn't have a memory card like at all. And I don't know, like the base storage on a GameCube was maybe like 8 MB or something really small. And so, um, you couldn't ever save games, and I feel like that's what kept me playing them. Like like with Mario Kart, it was like whatever you would like load it up, and then you'd have to re-unlock a lot of the tracks, and then we could like really go at it and like have fun. But most of the fun was just going through the story multiple times, and like then like we'd have to go somewhere, we'd have to like do something, and we'd come back and we'd turn off the GameCube and whatever, and then we'd come back and have to do the same thing all over again. And I think that was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like in hindsight, that was super good because it didn't like keep me bored, or I didn't. Well, I guess not keep me bored. I never got to the point to where I was bored of a game because I was always like, oh, I need to finish it. I need to finish it, but I never was able to like sit down and finish it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kept coming back and like trying to. And like I know for a long time, like after like I had gotten my own GameCube, like for my mom's house, I would keep the GameCube on with SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Yes.
Dude, I would keep it on just so that like I wouldn't lose my spot. I never got farther than the chum bucket because like you can't play. I don't know. There's a whole lot to do in Battle for
Mm-hmm.
existed.
Yeah, there's a big cult following of like day. Like I know they
Mhm.
remastered it, but to this day, there's still a big cult following that I found on YouTube and Twitch that's both like speed running it, like the old one and the new one.
Yo, I would love to speed run Battle for Bikini Bottom. That would be fun.
I feel like that's gonna be cursed.
That would be fun. No, because Battle for Bikini Bottom was such a great game.
It really was.
I mean, so
Like I
yeah.
was trying to like cuz and there's a thing in the game where I think if I'm remembering this correctly, there are robots that are like scattered throughout the game and you get points for like killing them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like it was basically like a Pokedex but for the robots, and I really wanted to like fill it up and see like all the different kinds of robots, and I wanted to like beat the game.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously like I couldn't. Oh, you know what? The farthest I got was the dream sequence with like you could go into everyone's dream. I think I got to Sandy's dream, and then I don't remember getting any farther than that because I don't know, 7-year-old me was kind of small brain
Hmm.
and couldn't figure out anything past the starting levels. But it was so much fun to like start that game and like try and beat it again.
Yeah,
It was super fun.
it's funny you mentioned the SpongeBob games because I rem. So, do you guys know? I know the Battle for Bikini Bottom was a great game, but there was one game that was cursed so much that,
Hmm.
especially like when it was out, it was a SpongeBob game, and it was for like the PS2 and the GameCube. But it was so cursed that no one could. It was physically impossible to play, and that was SpongeBob: The Curse of the Flying Dutchman.
I
Oh
never,
yeah.
So
I've never played that.
I
that
feel like I've played that.
so I played. There was a glitch where if you got to Sandy's house, you would not load past it, and that was like the case for a lot of the copies of that game. To this day, it is the game I hate the most because
Huh.
because they, I mean, until that point, it was kind of fun. I mean, I guess for like a simple like P brain, I think it was like 6 or 7 or something like that. Playing that on my, I think it was PS2. I was playing on my PS2. I think it was GameCube was fine. PS2 was unplayable, but
Yeah, that's the one I played. Is
yeah,
the PS2 one.
getting to that, it was always the freaking tree. Like when you got to Sandy's house, it just be you'd climb the tree, and then it wouldn't load past that. It'd just be stuck. And then if you turn it off, it just take you to like a point before that. So to this day, not Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob SquarePants, The Curse of the Flying Dutchman, is in my opinion the worst game ever created. Mainly because you ruined my childhood, making me, you like had me like on my toes, thinking that I was doing something good, but only to shoot me in the fucking nose,
Have
straight
you
to my
ever
I
nose.
played? Now, you had a PS2, right?
Yeah,
Have you ever played like the what were they called? The like slime ones where they
yeah,
had all the Nickelodeon characters.
yes. Like the ones
Those
like the kart
were
racers and like the
yeah,
Nickelodeon kart racers and like the fighters and stuff.
yeah. They had a whole campaign one too that was like a storyline thing. You'd like go unlock all the characters, and there were like secret characters and stuff, and there was like
Hmm.
this big whole storyline. I remember trying to speed run that as a kid.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to add, by the way, Nick? Like going on to like your kind of like what
um
you grew up playing.
kinda. I mean, I did grow up on Pokemon too.
Hmm.
Uh, my first, I had a DS. I got a DS Lite. For I want to say Christmas maybe, and I think that year, like Diamond and Pearl had came out like
Hmm.
around Christmas,
Yeah.
and so I got Pokemon Diamond, and oh my god, I think to this day it's the game that I have the most hours
Just
ever,
period. Yeah.
just period, because I have. I think the last time I checked, I had 500 hours
Hmm.
just on that save,
Oh,
and
I'm
um
assuming you like beat it multiple times.
yeah, so I never reset that cartridge because I was like, I don't want to ever reset this. There's too much
Hmm.
stuff on here.
Yeah.
And so I would just go back and with like different teams try to beat the Elite Four and champion. Because at that point I was more of like, this is just me leveling up all of my Pokemon and
Right.
like I would just like go through the Elite Four and whatnot.
Hmm.
And so Pokemon Diamond I think will go down as like the best experience I've ever had playing a video game. And I
Okay.
think it's my favorite video game of all time because every time I load it up, I get like super nostalgic, and I'm like, I don't think I could go back and play any of them
Hmm.
like in their current state because it's so slow, and I've been babied by Sword and Shield and like Sun and Moon
Yeah.
because everything is so fast.
Hmm.
Like quality of life is insane, but definitely growing up, Pokemon Diamond was my favorite game. I had I like after that I kind of like I was into Pokemon, and then I think Call of Duty was probably my next franchise that I was like very much involved with,
Yeah.
and that is what it is. I don't play Call of Duty anymore.
Hmm.
Um,
But you still play Pokemon,
I do still play
which
Pokemon.
I think that's I think so. I think it's just like a testament to how good the formula is. Because
Oh yeah.
for me, it's just like I've been playing. I played Gen. Like I started Gen 3. I was kind of lucky in that sense because I started super young. I think it was like 2004 when that came out, and then
Hmm.
2007, 6 or something like that. It was when Emerald came out, but I got the chance to play super early, and the kind of grindy games like Pokemon are great for kids, especially if they have like that like the I don't know. It's like if you need to get their attention, like if you like want a kid to shut up and like stop jumping around, hand them a Game Boy with Pokemon or a DS with Pokemon in it. Bam,
Oh
you're
yeah.
they're gonna go like silent for at least 5 hours,
Oh for sure.
especially if they're just starting it. But nowadays it's just like whenever I start a Pokemon game, I'll beat it in like 2 days. But it's always like the post. It's just like what else can I do? So I'll start collecting or I'll start train because I got really into the competitive Pokemon scene too, and so I would try to like breed Pokemon. Like it goes like all like this super in depth like with like IVs and EVs and etc. Like egg groups and like egg moves and stuff that you can't teach them normally, but it just gets to like all this nonsense. And I studied the hell out of that just so that I could get like these really strong Pokemon so that I could like take to tournaments. And I've been to like one or two, and I've placed pretty okay. But it's just like for me, it was like to that point in which I had that commitment to Pokemon. um, but anyways, we had that tangent. But I think I don't know, Sam. What do you think? Like how do you like how did you grow up? Because I know for us it's like a year difference, but I think in terms of a gaming, a year is a lot of time.
Yeah, I did. So I think my first one, like I've played GameCube and stuff, but I never like those weren't my first because I've always played them at a friend's house,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like more recently too. So I think my first one was like the little Game Boy Advance. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing like a whole bunch of Star Wars, old like original Star Wars games on there, right? Like there's this hard one I could not beat because it's like once you get like to the second or third level, you cannot beat it without cheats because of how like slow it is.
Right.
It's like the pixels or something, but you to like fly the Millennium Falcon around and stuff, but the
Oh,
pixels were all off. Oh, dude.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Wait.
Yeah.
It's like the only it's like you're only flying in planes. It's like the plane shooter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Wait. What
It's
Could
console is
not
this
get
for?
past
Game
like
Boy.
the most Isley Cafe one. You could not get past that one.
Mm-hmm. I haven't
What
played
was?
it. It's like I forgot what it's called. I think it was
I
like Knights of the Republic or something like that.
I feel like Knights of
no,
the
that's
Republic
not
is
Knights of the
a
Public.
good game.
No, no,
That's an
no,
RPG. Yeah, that one's real
no, no, no,
fun.
no, no. Oh,
Squadron, Rogue Squadron, Rogue Scott. Oh God, I can't say it.
yeah. It's just
Rogue Squadron?
it might
Question
be
mark.
whatever it is.
It might
It's
be.
the one. It's the one that's just like you're flying planes and shooting. That's all it is.
It
It's
looks yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
It's like Star Fox but Star Wars
Looks
and
like Rogue Leader or
like in
something.
with like only 10 like 50 pixels.
Yeah.
Um, but
Oh
yeah,
no,
you
this
keep
one's
talking.
rated good. It's probably not that one. All of these are rated fine. Oh well, I guess this one. Maybe Rebel Strike.
It is Rebel Strike. It's Rebel Strike.
Might be.
Yeah, it's Rebel Strike. No, I know it. Like, I've seen like I've seen way too many videos on this.
I remember there's a whole bunch. There was like I also played like the original trilogy, which is like this little platformer one on it. I remember Flight of the Falcon. That one's fun.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
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 After that I went to PS2 and
Mhm.
then I think I didn't have a big Pokemon thing cuz I only had Heart Gold, right?
Yeah.
So I played the crap out of that one. I don't think I ever completed the Pokédex though.
Hmm.
But I did have a big thing for the Lego games. I did
Ooh.
100%
We've talked
complete
about this. Yeah.
every Star Wars one. Yeah, on every console I own. Like
Yes.
Xbox,
That's nasty.
PlayStation, PC, everything, dude.
Lego
So
Star Wars is so fun.
I
so
played the
yeah.
crap out of it.
Would you say like I think the dynamic depending on what you grew up on is a little different, especially like perspective. Because I grew up on mostly Nintendo stuff. I'd say Nick, you grew up on like a mix of both, right?
I feel like I grew up on Nintendo and then I transitioned to Xbox.
Yeah, I never really like hopped. So I have a PS3. But even then, it was just like the only reason I had it was because my brother wanted it, and so we shared it. And then eventually, like he was just like, I don't want this anymore. He stopped playing games and stuff. So I ended up taking it. But the only thing I really did was like I played Black Ops, like occasionally, and then I played Infamous. I played like a lot of because the PS series tended to have like a lot of story driven games. Um,
Hmm.
and like decent platformers and stuff. So that's what I mostly played. Um, all I know is that I went to GameStop, and because at the time it was just like you could get like 3 games for like $15 or something like that, and so I just
Right.
picked 3 games on PS3 because there at that point it was just there's so many. This is like
Hmm.
in 2000, I would say like 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's just all I did was I think like I bought Final Fantasy 14 or something like that. Never played it. Never played it. It's like the one with it's like
Yeah.
the one with lightning. Never played it.
Yeah.
I've definitely had a few games that I bought that I just never played. I
And
remember.
yeah, I think that was just like the dynamic with being like PS like the PS
I
series or
feel
like
like
the
any
Xbox.
console,
Hmm.
there's like that one you really want to buy and try it, and then you get it, and you're like, ah, you know what?
Yeah, for me, I remember one specific instance. I had a fair bit of gift money from some holiday, or maybe it was my birthday. I don't remember, but I went to GameStop and I ended up getting like 5 games, all under like $40. Like altogether, it was 5 games that were like under $40, and so um, I bought Forza. That was the only game that I can truly remember, other than another game called Secret Service, and it was such a weird experience. It just felt like the it was an entire video game based around the mission in Modern Warfare 2 where DC is being destroyed.
Forza or Secret Spy.
Secret Service.
Oh,
Yeah,
Secret
Secret
Service.
Service was because you started out in a tent outside of the White House, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden you're like, "Oh no, people are invading the White House."
Mhm.
And then you just kill people, but it's so hard because they're already set up in the White House with like snipers and stuff.
Right.
And this is the only thing I remember about the game because after like maybe 5 minutes, I turned it off and I never played it again.
You're like,
Mhm.
this is just too difficult.
I was like, it wasn't even like fun. There was nothing cool about the game. It was just like a very, very pixelated. It was like, and like, in all fairness, the game cost maybe like $3.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh shit, thrifting. And then went home and played a $3 game and got about what I expect, or like what one would expect,
Mhm.
I
You know what's a
guess.
cheap game that the graphics amaze me to this day still?
What?
Is have you ever played the Ghostbuster games? Right, like
No.
so they used to make them for Wii and stuff, right?
Mhm.
But they had one for PC back like early 2000s, and like the graphics on it, like to this day, are like it's probably better than some Xbox One games. Like they were really good.
Hmm.
Hmm. I'm trying to remember this one game that I bought. It was an FPS, but that was also $5, but I can't remember what the name was.
What console? I'm assuming
It was
Xbox.
Xbox.
Well, there's a lot.
Oh, it wasn't Spore, but it was like a four-letter word.
Spore.
No,
Fear?
no, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Or-
Yeah,
It
Spore.
wasn't
I was
Spore.
like the freaking alien
It's
builder thing.
hold
Is
on.
it
The first.
Aliens?
Whatever. It's like.
No.
Oh well. But yeah. I mean, like, I think it is interesting though that like the dynamic in which we grew up is like Sam, like you grew up. I'd say you grew up on pretty like because you said you played like you didn't play like a lot of like Nintendo stuff. You grew up more on like
Yeah, I did have a DS, the
Hmm.
original DS, and I had the not the 3DS, the one after that with like all the camera and all that stuff.
The new 3DS.
The better 3DS, yeah.
So I had that too. That's what Mountain Dew hit.
But I had a whole bunch of like I don't remember they weren't Pokemon games, but I had a whole bunch of games on them that were just so diverse.
Hmm.
And then like Nick, I went to COD and I stuck with that. And I still play it. I just not as much because of the dynamic of it is like back then, like you played Black Ops, right? Like
Hmm.
back
Yeah.
then it used to like it's nostalgia. Everybody was having fun, like snipers, trick shots, phase, all that stuff. Nowadays it's like you get a claymore and you sit in a corner and it's like
Hmm.
almost unplayable.
Yeah.
Yup. It's freaking whack.
Hmm.
Yeah, I quit playing COD because I my last COD I think was World War II because and World War II was fun. I was like I
Yeah.
enjoyed the game. There wasn't like too many problems. I used to play COD competitively and I was not good at all. But I think my best game was Advanced Warfare. And
Yes.
because Advanced Warfare was dumb and I loved it. It was stupid. Like Infinite Warfare was a dumbed down version of Advanced Warfare. And Advanced Warfare, that was ultimate cheese with like jetpacks and like overpowered ass weapons
Hmm.
and
Obscene
overpowered
Steve.
over like exo abilities and it was nuts. It was
Yeah.
stupid.
No, it was pretty crazy.
Black
Um.
Ops 3, I think, is the most I've played one just because, like, it was a more tamed down version of Advanced Warfare, right?
Mhm.
Like, a more, like,
Ooh.
fine tuned.
Yeah.
But then they added a whole bunch of crazy stuff, like a mannequin arm you could whack people with.
Yeah, they added the mannequin arm. They added a nail gun
Yeah,
to the
nail
game. They added a pizza launcher.
gun.
So
Like,
it, I think it's really funny you bring up Black Ops 3. That's like so I only played Black Ops 1, and what I would do is watch Ali A or someone
Yeah.
just do like zombie runs for
yeah.
like the all the other games. And so I'd watch those all the time. And then when I like got to the point where it's like I think it was a while after Black Ops 3 came out. I saw it go on sale for really cheap and I bought it on PC. Um and I know that like a lot of people play it on console, but on PC, the thing with that it was just like people modded maps on
Mhm.
Black Ops
Oh,
3,
yeah.
and that's the same for like World at War, which is like from 2012 or something like that. Um, but people modded the living daylight out of that game mainly just so they had more variety. So I didn't even buy the game because I thought it was a good game. I bought it because people were doing crazy stuff like adding custom guns and adding like custom perks and making custom bosses on zombies and stuff. And I just thought it was crazy how you could take this one game, which had like a pretty simple concept, which was just to kill zombies and survive, but they just freaking nuked it out and then managed to like build this whole world, and then like inspire other people to like start building on that. And it's just really cool to me that they did that.
Yeah. That's what like I wanna. I wish I kind of like was exposed to the world of PC before college because, dude,
The
I
modding.
modding like modding would have been super fun. Like I used to watch Mr. Dally JD. Um, his modded zombie stuff was always super interesting to me. Um, and so I was like, dang, I really wish I could do that. But lo and behold, I have a wheel Xbox 360 and have no hacking ability or desire to want to even make that drastic of a change to my game. And so it was just a spectacle to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then like now today I'm realizing like the PC would have been so much better because like now I pretty much like exclusively play PC because like uh I don't know. The Xbox I'm like eh about. I'm not a big fan of Xbox anymore for some reason.
Yeah, I remember.
Um, yeah.
Sorry,
No, you're good.
Sorry,
but I
my
remember.
mom
I
just
don't know if
walked
you
in
knew
on
this
me.
kid. I don't know if you knew him. We went to high school with this dude named Ahmed, right? I used to
Maybe.
go in middle school with him in like freshman year over to his house and play zombies because I remember I didn't have a good enough PC to run like the modded games. So he like jailbroke his Xbox and he had like a laptop on top of it plugged into it and like a whole bunch of USB sticks hanging out of both of them. And he like modded the crap out of his Xbox to the point where all he could play was modded, like
Oh
modded
my
anything.
goodness.
Like so,
Hmm.
I remember going over his house and like he just pulled like Black Ops 2 and there'd be like this modded map pulled up. It
Huh.
was like amazing. I still don't know how he did it.
People are crazy. I don't know. It's just for them. A lot of people like also like the modding scene on. There was like a crazy console modding scene too, where it was just like, yeah, like the whole like idea was like, they're actually making our consoles a lot worse than they actually are. So there was like a whole group like dedicated to improving performance on like basically like bottom of the barrel because it's for them for basically the way that games are made for consoles is that like you have like the CPU and like the GPU, but the GPU and like the CPU aren't like great. But the reason why games run all that so well is because developers specifically like optimize their games to be able to run on the hardware in like a console, and that's why PC gaming is so much more expensive because
Hmm.
as much as it's super like customizable and stuff, um, it's expensive on the fact that um, people like they don't optimize that hard into PC gaming mainly just because there's no point because everyone's just gonna change everything.
Yeah, which
Right.
is like I think a big thing too is like that's why consoles are struggling is because they favor like if you look at all the Xbox and like Xbox Series X or whatever the new one is, PlayStation 5, right? They show how good their graphics and stuff are, but they don't really prioritize games as
Yeah.
much. It's always graphics this, graphics that, but then the game takes like 30 minutes to load a cutscene,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yeah.
like that's why PC's always better in my opinion now, right? Because like obviously like you said, everybody's just gonna change it to what they like, how they want it. So
I also think it's well. There's one company, um, and it's pretty obvious who, and there's one company that always tends to be like, we don't really focus on hardware. What we want is for our fans to enjoy the games we push out. And I mean, I've stepped into both like PS stuff and Xbox stuff, but for me, it's like always like copy and paste games.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I never really like experienced like variety. But I'm talking about Nintendo, but
Oh
um,
yeah.
but like I bought like for me personally, I like my favorite game franchise is Pokemon, but I bought the Switch like years, I think 2 years in advance, just so that I could play the next Pokemon games.
which is
Yeah.
like amazing because like still to this day, I'm not gonna say Nintendo's graphics are bad, right? Like I like them, like especially if Animal Crossing played the
Oh
crap out
yeah.
of that, still am. But like obviously like Xbox has done some games where it's like all cutscenes, right? Like they make you want to feel like it's a movie, but at this point it's like if I want to watch a movie, I'm going to go watch a movie. Like Nintendo is all gameplay,
Hmm.
Hmm.
which is amazing to me.
I don't
It's
know.
like Detroit Become Human kind of.
Yeah.
I
Like I hear the game is great, and I don't know like how much like butterfly effect plays into that game.
hmm
I feel like that one is like a special case cuz I've seen it, right? And it's not
Hmm.
even like the cutscenes. The cutscenes are like gameplay because you have to interact with everything. It's like one of those Telltale games, but like
Right.
Yeah,
more
yeah.
realistic. But like
But
the one like so I used to play Quantum Break, which is this Xbox game, right?
Hmm.
And so you'd play gameplay for about an hour, and then depending on the choices you made and who you killed and kept alive and did whatever in game, they'd give you a specialized real life cutscene that they filmed, right? But the cutscenes would be like
Oh,
3 hours. So you'd play for like 40 minutes and then sit there for a 3 hour cutscene. So at that point, I like stopped playing because I played it for like 3 days straight and I couldn't even get halfway through. Because
that's
you can't
dumb.
skip the cutscenes or anything. You physically have to watch them all the way through, which is,
Hmm.
oh my God. Like,
It's kind
don't
of
get me
dumb.
wrong, the gameplay was fun, but The premise behind it was cool, but just the whole like 3 hour cutscenes you can't skip was awful.
Yeah. You know what that reminds me of? There's a meme about this too. But y'all ever do you guys know what Heavy Rain is?
I've heard of it.
So
Yeah.
it's like this game. The premise is like there's like a dad. Um, I don't know. I haven't played it. But it's like there's like a dad and there's like a kid and he's trying to find his kid or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
But
yeah.
the there's no gameplay. It's literally all cutscene. And I forget who made it, but the like I feel like the dynamic that it's kind of going towards, like I guess something that kind of, the kind of like going on a tangent here. Do you know who like oh, fuck he developed Metal Gear.
Okay.
Oh
not
yeah.
not the guy who wrote Heavy Rain, but basically the guy who made Metal Gear wanted to also become like like a movie maker, like a producer, and
Okay.
like he wanted to make movies. um Hideo Kojima, that's his name. um
Okay.
the guy who made Metal Gear. But basically, like, he wanted to kind of turn his games into more of like a movie. And so like don't get me wrong, the Metal Gear games are freaking great until like I think it was about 5 or something like that, and it just wasn't good. Mainly because like the story was great and it was written great, um, but to me it wasn't a game anymore. It's more of just like watching a movie, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a show, um, and that's
Yeah.
as and like I respect him doing that because it's a good story. But like I don't go get on a console to watch a movie. I get on a console to play game.
Yeah.
But and so, but the problem is that a lot of developers are doing that now. Like take for instance, uh, Death Stranding. I think the
Mm-hmm.
freaking walking simulator. Like like he called it something else. Like it's like a new genre of game. Is basically what it's called. Donkey did like a really funny review on it, but I think he hits it really hard. And he's just like,
Mm-hmm.
this isn't a game. It's just walking simulator, and it's just really broken because they're just like a story, but the story's not even that good. But I mean, I'm not gonna knock people who like it, but I
Yeah.
personally like I've seen it, and it's just like this is disgusting. I don't know how they were like this is good.
Right. I don't know. I finally found the game I was talking about.
What's it? What was the game?
It's called Brink.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
there's like I think there's like 3 of them, right?
I think so. Maybe.
Yeah, I remember playing Brink 3 and being like, this is okay, but the problem with Brink
Is
was
there
like,
3?
I
I don't know. I think there's
What?
just Brink. Hold on.
let me look this up. I know either I played Brink or I played one of the newer ones. And this is a while ago.
No, there is no Brink 2. It's just Brink.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I see it.
No, but I remember buying
like
that game. That was like $5 when I bought it.
Isn't it free? Is it free now?
It's free to play on PC.
I was gonna say yeah.
It's like it was a pretty fun game for it being
Oh,
$5.
I remember the ad for this. I remember like this was super hyped.
Yeah,
A
I
lot
remember
of
it being.
games were always advertised to be COD killers, and I feel like this game was at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there. Yeah, I feel like it could have been, but I forgot what there wasn't there like some problem or something like why it wasn't.
I just think it was.
I don't know.
I just don't think it was as good. To be like, just to be honest.
Well, let's try it. It's $3 at GameStop.
Or it's free on PC. But,
Oh yeah, there we go. I completely just forgot that you just said that like 4 seconds ago.
but
Rewind the
Yeah.
clip.
take it back. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I think the climate, like I think about the reason I thought about this too is because I thought about or the topic for today's episode was I thought about what really got me into playing games, and it's just like I grew up playing all these games, um, but it's just I feel like the climate of how games are being made right now is just so bad. Because back then it used to be like we want to make games for the fans to have fun, and then it just so happened to be that they made a shit ton of money, but now like you have companies that are like mass making games, and you're like,
Money, money, money.
excuse me, Hideo Kojima, and
My,
they're
yeah.
like booting each other. It's become like I don't want to talk about YouTube drama, but it's kind of becoming like how YouTube drama is just crazy right now.
Yeah.
It's
Kinda,
just
yeah.
it's kind of I don't know. That's how I see it. It's just like their priorities into like making games is more like how much money can I make off of spending only this much money to develop a game. So
That's yeah.
Yeah,
and
I will say something on that. Actually, you
mhm.
finish.
But and it's also like that's why I'm like support your indie game developers mainly just because they don't have like AAA studios are like fucking COD's been alive for God knows how long.
Too long.
Too long. And it's just like I really don't think that should have been the case. I
I
think they should have tried to make a new game.
Like indie developers have a lot of good ideas, and I'm gonna also branch back to your last comment for one little comment. Like
Mhm.
we all know that big one that makes COD. I'm not gonna say it, but we know it.
mhm.
Activision.
Black Ops 4,
Treyarch.
worst game ever
I
because
never I didn't buy it. I straight
they
up I was like, this game looks stupid.
Is it the
good
one where it's like they
because
got rid of
it's literally they copy and pasted everything bad about all their other Black Ops games, and it's right here. And they pushed the whole purchasing method so hard. Like there was 23 guns when the game came out,
Mhm.
and then there was about 70 something when the game cycle ended.
Oh.
Like, and you had to buy every single one in like a loot drop or something. Like
Mhm.
that was literally like a test. It was like, how far can we push this, and how much money can we make from doing it?
And at the
Also,
expense of like people that enjoy COD,
mhm.
because that's what got me out of it. I was like, no, at this point, you're literally just making this game to make money. You're not making it for people to enjoy because people come at you with the same complaints. And rather than like actively trying to fix them, you
Yeah,
meme us. You're like, oh, we heard you were complaining about like the time to kill and the pay to win. So we made it impossible for you to get the best gun in the game. We've hid it behind a paywall.
which is like,
Fuck
so
you.
that's like, this is a meme game, Fortnite, right? Which
Oh
I
yeah.
love it, right? Obviously, I'm gonna get memed for that, but like it used to be so much fun, like OG Tilt and all that stuff, right? But then
Yeah.
they've literally put it so much towards the competitive community that you can't play a normal match. And like if you're just joining it, like I was playing with John the other day,
Mhm.
and he was getting some kills and stuff, but obviously there's those sweaty builders and stuff who just play 24/7, and it's all tailored to them, right? Like
Hmm.
I remember back in this season X, I think they call it, they put like a Titanfall mech in it
Oh my god.
because they refused to nerf it or take it out. It was so overpowered, and that's why like the game started dying, because they literally said at the end of the season it was literally made to give bots free kills, but all the competitive people would figure out how to get to them first and know where they spawn. So obviously bots couldn't even think, and they were already in the lobby.
Mhm.
That's so dumb.
I don't
It's
know.
amazing.
Yeah, I tried Fortnite um like when it came out or like way before it was like popular, mainly because I wanted to play Fortnite for like the battle defense, but at the time it was like the defense mode or whatever, and that's what it was made for. And
Right.
I played it because one of my actually my band director was like the one who was like, "Yeah, I like Fortnite." And I was like, "Oh." And this is like what, 2015 or something like that, 16.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And so I played it, and I thought, the graphics are pretty good. It's a free game, but it's gonna be paid once that game comes out. But it's like it's fair, you know. Um, and then I turn around like 4 years later, and now it's just become like this meme shit fest, and it's
Like
just
if you look under any tweet they say, regardless it's fixing an issue, new item shop, there is so many like effed up things in the comments. Like some of them are just memes, and some of them are just straight up things that shouldn't even exist.
mhm,
Like it's amazing. Like if you want a good laugh, go under any Fortnite tweet and just scroll down, and the replies are amazing.
mhm. Yeah.
Oh my, I'm sure.
I,
I,
And
I
like
don't know.
they're not even about it is the best part.
Dude,
honestly,
Twitter is dumb.
Twitter is dumb. So is Twitter beef. Twitter beef is also dumb. If you need to say something, I feel like adults should be able to, or
Speak to their face.
yeah, just like
Dude,
be
I
able to
don't.
talk it out. I don't understand why like people are like, oh, I'm behind the freaking internet wall. Let me just say the most hurtful shit ever, and then like expect that I don't get any ramifications of it. Because
Oh
in the end,
yes.
at the end of the day, you will. Like it doesn't matter how by it doesn't matter how it happens. You will get it.
I
Oh
joined
yeah.
a Twitch stream earlier for music, right? Some guy's streaming his like Ableton or something, and some guy in the comments was like trying to get somebody swatted, right, on a music stream.
Bro,
Like,
what?
what?
I don't know.
Dude,
It's amazing.
toxicity is like so my qualm with like internet behavior. Like I don't like I maybe it's cuz I don't follow or maybe it's cuz I follow the right people. I don't see Twitter beef too much. And I'm not like I never like consider it that I never consider that to be like a big problem with Twitter. My main qualm was with Twitter is like people being like I don't know, like fake accounts or like I forgot what the term was, but they were like gimmick accounts or something
Mm-hmm.
where they like pretend or I'll finish my thought where they pretend to be somebody else and they like are
It's
commenting
just slander.
weird things.
It's,
It's like it's not even like what I'm talking about is not necessarily slander.
mm-hmm.
What I'm pointing out isn't really, but what I will say, K-pop Twitter.
Oh my
Now,
god.
Oh,
before I go on, I have to preface by saying I do not hate K-pop. K-pop, a lot of it is good music, but y'all on Twitter, when I'm looking at articles related to Kim Jong Un's death, and he one like a lot of the replies are fan cams, I think there's an issue there because that's not like and I will never understand fan cams for the role that they like what is the point? Cuz the thing is every account uses one.
Mm-hmm.
They have one fan cam that they use. And I think it's like it's a competition to see which person has the best fan cam.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
it's insane.
how did that happen through that genre of music and that hasn't happened through any other genre of music?
Right.
Like what happened there? Like I don't know what the purpose of a fan cam is. If like somebody out there wants to explain that to me, I'm all ears
Mm-hmm.
because it's not a hatred. It is a pure fascination
Mm-hmm.
about when and where these things pop up.
Right. I don't know,
It amazes me how much those accounts blow up too.
Mm-hmm.
Like
dude.
you could just blow up like, oh, I love this actor in this one movie, and your account will get like 100,000 follows.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
It's great.
I don't know. I think it's mostly just the thing is like, especially I don't want to say that it's bad to like the things you like, right? But
Yeah.
a lot of times, what's I feel like is happening, especially like out of Korea, is there's like it's kind of like this is like a completely different topic, but it's like how white people like not white people. I'll just say for every race that's not Japanese that watches like anime or something like that, right? And
Mm.
the offensive brand is being called a weeb or a weeaboo, right?
Yeah.
But the for me like the cringiest thing to watch, especially being Korean, is when like a mass of just I don't know a race that's not Korean is going batshit crazy over people they can't understand.
Yeah.
Cause like I saw like look back it was a while ago. It was when like that meme came out with like it's like the girls crying over like someone not being on like the team anymore or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I think it was like a BTS react, and they're just like crying and they're bawling. They're fucking going, and they're about to like pass out. That's how much they're crying, and it's just like, how do you let someone who makes a god like God knows how much they make. They make a shit ton of money, and you're just crying because they're not in the team anymore. They don't need to work anymore. They're done.
yeah, they don't need to ever work ever again.
The
And
problem is though is that they keep working because they get them a lot of money,
yeah,
and
because
so
once you start getting that money, it's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, why would I stop?
yeah, I need to get my nose job like 3 times a week. It's just like,
But I feel like
Mm.
I'll get to a point like that happens. Like if I get enough, I'm not saying I am going to at all, but if something ever blew up like that and got this big cult following, I feel like at that point you might as well just donate some of it somewhere or something. Like, what are you doing with all that? Just sitting around.
hmm I will say there's a video like H3 made, and sometimes like I used to be a huge fan, but nowadays it's just like eh. But he made a great video talking about how like people kind like he said something like cause he has a podcast and he talks about donation shaming and stuff, or he talks about like billionaires and like yeah, it's like, wow, they're so rich, but something happened where someone accused him of like donation shaming, and he was just like, dude, that's like the shittiest thing you can do, mainly because who are you to say that like billionaires are donating $100 million, right? $100 million is nothing in the scope of like several billion, right?
Mm.
But he's saying, looking at that objectively, $100 million is still $100 million, no matter
Oh
how
yeah.
you slice it. And so it's just like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter how much money you make, and like for me, it's just like yeah, like if you can, I think like the right thing to do is donate, but I don't think you can shame someone for not donating regardless of how much money they make, because in the end it's just, for me it's just like a number on a page, and
Yeah.
it does help a lot of people, and I think if you have, yeah, like I said, if you have the ability, please donate, um especially because we have a pandemic going around now. If you
Oh
could
yeah, for sure.
donate to
I
something
feel
like
like
that, yeah.
it should especially go to like smaller ones too. Like obviously there's those big streamers who get like $100 donations a day. I feel like especially like the ones who are like trying to get by.
Mm.
Like obviously I'm not saying don't donate to the big ones, right? But they at least have some money where they can get by. Where like
Mm.
the smaller streamers are just trying to get like $5 by the end of the day.
That's also
Mm.
this. That's also it's funny that you mentioned that, because it's just like I think Twitch is such a toxic. I don't know. Like I don't. I personally don't go on Twitch that often. Like I don't watch Twitch people, but it's such a toxic environment where like the goal, or I like anyone who says they don't go on Twitch for money is a fucking liar. And especially if you're like popular. Mainly,
Okay.
okay.
Well, now hold on.
No. Here, listen. Hear me out. Because Pokemon's in like a bunch of fire right now, because
For
Yeah, I was
what?
gonna bring that up. I was gonna bring that
Pokemon's
up.
a lot
For
of.
what?
So okay, um, basically, like especially girl streamers, like, like I'm not saying they're
Lady.
intentionally doing this, but
Be
this it's like huge.
careful.
Yeah. Well,
Be careful.
I'm gonna be careful.
Well,
I'm saying this. I'm saying this as it is, but there are. There's a reason the term simp exists, and it
Okay.
is because of the kind of the climate that is going
do
on.
you want me to explain the shorthand of it?
You can go right
So
ahead.
what
'Cause-
happened with
So
Pokemon?
basically, I don't know if it's true or not, the first part, but the second part is true. So the first part is some guy, quote unquote, went homeless for donating money to her.
That's his fault.
Yeah. So then she said that was like, then some guy reacted. Was it some, I forgot I'm not going to say the guy's name anyhow. I forgot. Some guy made a video about it and like, was like, this is wrong and stuff like that. And she like got his sponsorships or something taken away. Like, she like made him lose his income basically for reacting to a guy going homeless for donating to her.
Oh.
This
It's
is
like,
that's the kind of like it's that's like why Twitch irks me so much, especially at like the high end, because that's probably not like Alinity pisses me off. Even some of like the guy like some of the guy Twitch people piss me off. Like
Oh,
I love
Lindy is scum of the earth.
yeah, Alinity's awful.
yeah like
I saw a tweet about her last night where she was like saying like, "Oh, if a boy cheats, then it's wrong, but if a girl cheats, she's just not getting enough out of a relationship." Or like she was like
defending cheating.
Yeah.
Well, of course, because she feeds vodka to her cats and doesn't get banned for it.
Isn't there like
It's-
there's a conspiracy theory about Alinity where
She
it's like
sleeps with.
She,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like necessarily sleeping, but I think she definitely has like an in for
She's definitely
Twitch.
got it in.
no, that's not what I'm talking about. No. There's a conspiracy.
Well, we gotta be careful.
No. There's a conspiracy theory. I'm not saying this is true, or I don't know if it is, but she said on Twitch that she married some Canadian guy because she's from like Cambodia or something. No, not Cambodia, like Cuba. She's from Cuba or some Hispanic country. I'm not 100% positive. Don't quote me on that. But she married a guy, went to Canada, and she got citizenship in Canada, and then divorced him once she got citizenship.
Yeah, just for the citizenship.
Huh.
And
Well, I mean,
I-
Alinity's like, I don't know. I feel like that's a bit extreme. And like, had that actually happened,
But at the same time, the things she's done in the past
okay,
are also like I'm not saying I
yeah,
believe it or don't believe it. I'm just stating fact.
I
saying my
know.
opinion out.
Yeah, with like, I will say, I think the overall my experience on Twitch is actually a lot different because I tend to stay away from a lot of the drama creating creators, I
Mhm.
guess. And like that's why it shocked me to hear Pokimane was in like water because like I'm normally like I know she gets like shit a lot for some reason because of whatever,
Mhm.
but like she's like one of the least problematic people. I don't think she actively goes and like searches for things that might like boost her analytics or her
Yeah,
like
I mean,
engagements.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like there's a guy like he made a video about this, and I think it's the same guy that you were talking about, Sam. But he made a video about it, and he was saying how these streamers don't intentionally mean to do this, but the nature of how they, you know, like I guess they express like I don't know. This is coming from a group of three guys. I'm not a girl. I can't I'm not gonna claim that I understand the mindset because I
Yeah,
don't.
Yeah, obviously.
But it's just like he made a great point, and he was just like, you know, you could be like a. I'm not saying okay. Just throwing this out there. Just because you're a female and you're streaming doesn't make you like you don't you're not a shit person. Yeah, like if I could stream, I'd stream too. Like fucking go for it. But like objectively because I don't know, like smelly old hairy men are on the internet all the fucking time. So they see a girl on the internet and they're like, "Oh, they're kind of cute. I wonder what would happen if I donate $300 every freaking weekend." And like hundreds of people do this.
Which
yeah.
is like I don't see that as much, like because kind of what Nick said. I stay away from. I'm on the small side of Twitch.
No, I don't even watch Twitch and I see
So
this.
I think a lot of it comes down to getting that like rush of dopamine when some creator acknowledges your donation.
Mhm.
And for some of the simps, I guess, for lack of a better term, that's like their only form of like
Appreciation, maybe.
interaction with like another person when it comes to something like that.
Mhm.
Like and so like the simp culture it's it works both ways, I think. I
Yeah,
don't know,
it's
maybe that's not the thing. I think with what I'm trying to say is like too many people use the term simp loosely to describe anyone that like likes a girl, but there are problems with simps that actually exist when they feel like they are entitled to an acknowledgement from a big streamer because they have donated an X amount of dollars. Well, yeah, if they donate $1,000 and they don't get any like acknowledgement, that's like, and
That's
like I don't think that happens. That's the thing. Like that doesn't happen.
yeah.
So like, because if any streamer, male, female, or whatever, gets $1,000, that is insane.
Yeah.
Because $1,000 at the end of the day is $1,000.
that's like rent money and stuff, right?
That
there.
is a yeah, that's a good month of rent
Grocery-
depending on where you're at.
Exactly.
And so, um, I a lot of like I think female streamers get put under this umbrella of quote unquote titty streamers because some women can get away with like not really being too good at game. I don't know. It's unfair to say that all female streamers either deal with this or will deal with this or are expected to deal with this
Mm-hmm.
because simply they are female. They shouldn't have to deal with simp culture
Yeah.
because that's kind of and like I feel like in small cases it's like I think it would be cool if like a streamer read your message in chat or
Yeah.
something
I
or
I, I
read
mean,
something and
Yeah.
like that little like boost of dopamine is cool. Like personally I'm in a stream. I don't know if you guys know the name James DeAngelis, but he used to be part of a channel called Sugar Pine 7 and that
Yeah.
was my favorite channel all of 2017, all of 2018, I would say. That was my favorite YouTube on like everything. And James was one of the main characters. And now he's on Twitch and like going into his chat and like I get to like actually like kind of talk to him kind of. Now it's not like me talking to James DeAngelis,
oh
but
yeah.
it's like me being able to interact with him and his chat. It's a cool little like nice environment that I think from a fan's perspective, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Where it draws the line is when you, number one, donate money for the sole purpose of being acknowledged
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
is insane to me. Because like, I mean, obviously, okay, so I like use my Twitch Prime for James DeAngelis.
Yeah.
But that wasn't because I'm like James, please notice me, please, please, please. That was like you have been like like him and like Sugar Pine 7 and all that provided me with some of the best content that I've ever seen. And to support him and like all of them in any way, it's just cool. And I will sub to them on Twitch and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say this. I don't know if you've ever heard of Sea Nanners, right?
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah.
Dude was like really good YouTube, right? And then he just quit. So like obviously like if people like he made me want to stick with gaming, like Gmod and all that stuff, right? Hilarious,
Mm.
dude. Obviously that's like the whole thing, like, yeah, now he's not gaming anymore, but if he was, you'd want to show like you said with your guy, James, I'd want to like just even if he doesn't recognize it, still use my Twitch Prime sub and just be like, look, because it helps him too. And also you're supporting the guy you like watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't get recognition, you're still like you feel good about it.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna
I,
like. Yeah. I mean, towards at the end of the day, like it's more of just I'm not trying to bag on people who donate to streaming. So I think like it's good to support whatever you support, but I think where I draw the line is when it becomes toxic and when it's like you don't need to be doing this and it doesn't help that a lot of these streamers are just like, yeah, I'll give you like the small fix you want, but you have to donate $400, $500, $200, like an absurd amount of dough in order for that to happen. And I get okay, if people are donating like $5 a time, it's hard to like kind of notice that, but you can't just brush aside $400 or $300. You have to
Which
kind
is
of watch for that,
insane.
and it's just like, yeah, that's like the kind of stuff. It's just like that's where I think like the line draws.
Which
It's just like, I'm not saying don't acknowledge it, but streamers who encourage that is what kind of anger me.
So I remember watching this dude named Noah J456. I'll make a quick little comment, right? And he's fixed it now. He does PayPal things, right? So he does things called dono streams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where like if people donate, he has to reset the map before he can finish a zombies Easter egg or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like so somebody like if they donated up to like $1,000, he'd shave his beard or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like funny things. But I remember he used to have like these dono wars where people would get in chat and donate hundreds of dollars back and forth. And I remember it became a problem.
Oh my god.
Just like his mic.
I'm so sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It became a problem because it wasn't like secured like PayPal or anything, right? So that's why like most people use PayPal or something now, but it wasn't secured, so they would donate like up to like $2,000 and then they just pull their money back out and be like, whoops, didn't mean to do that, after they were like,
Yeah.
made them feel good and stuff, which is that's where the line I feel like is like really wrong.
I feel like it goes.
Yeah.
I feel like it does go both ways.
Also, I don't know if you guys, and I think maybe this could be like one of the final things we say
Yeah.
before we wrap up discussion. I think, um, have you guys seen like the what was her name? Invader V or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Familiar.
Uh, her like belittling her chat to
Yes.
sub to her.
Yes.
Drew Gooden made a very good video about this. If you guys don't know, like Drew Gooden, obviously look him up. His latest video is very, very succinctly breaking down that whole thing and basically just calling like without like giving too much of like what's in the video. I wouldn't say giving it away because it's like anyone who like observes it can make that conclusion. But basically it's the cycle of Twitch drama where you do something bad. You apologize weekly, but just enough to where people will forgive you. You ride the high of being on the moral high ground on like for like apologizing, and then it repeats, and then you do another bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's wild for me because not only has this culture of people donating like $500 per stream a bit like toxic, and it kind of like it like feeds into hedonism, and it like overstimulates people,
Yeah.
streamers and the people donating included. It like it's super over, like no person can sit there play video games for like 3 hours and see people donate like $500 and be like the same after. Like,
Mm-hmm.
not saying that it's like a huge change, but like people went out of their way, no matter who they are, and like regardless of intent on like their donation, they just gave you $500.
Yeah.
And so that is super, like, it's appealing, and it seems very lucrative for people who want to start out on Twitch and like try to get revenue.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like cheapens a bit when you're streaming purely for the fun of it. Or like I guess some people, like people who will say like, oh, I only stream for fun. It's like there's a bit of that prospect like, oh, but what happens if I actually like make it big?
Mm-hmm.
That'd
Yeah.
be cool. But I digress.
Yeah.
I think with the Invader V situation, um that mentality got to her. She was like, "Oh, I can make a living doing Twitch." And like she's a very smart person. She's very well worded, and she knows how to like spin situations to make it look like she's in the right. And so um she basically got herself on a moral high ground and was saying like, if you can't put aside $5 a month to support your favorite stream, you are irresponsible with your money.
Which is worded all.
Which is so
It's worded.
like
It's worded well.
it's worded well,
but
but
it's such
like
a toxic.
that is the wrong opinion.
Yeah.
Straight up, that is the wrong opinion. Nobody is like, no streamer is entitled to have your money.
Right.
I feel like she had that fever dream moment where she's like, I can make this big. But then
Yeah,
she just snapped and completely
You know-
lost
it's
what she was trying to do.
No. Do you know that saying that's like, if you lie confidently, it's not a lie.
I don't think it, but it's not her lying. It's her like belittling her
I
chat
guess-
because they don't donate
I
or
guess
they don't
yeah,
sub.
The thing, I guess more of what I meant was like, if you confidently say something confidently enough, it becomes true, or
Yeah.
it becomes like, this is fact. Why don't you like why can't
And
you trust me?
Yeah, and but her problem was like she was being overtly rude and was owning up, like being like, yeah, no, if you're not donating and if you're not subbing, you're irresponsible with your money, and at this point I can't help you. Why do you even bother watching?
Mm-hmm.
Which
And it's like it's dumb because Twitch is free.
Yeah.
Like if I had to pay for Twitch,
No.
maybe. Nobody would pay for Twitch, first of all. Second of all, it's super unfair to just say, "Hey, you need to pay for the service that I'm providing you." Which, like, first of all, like you wouldn't be able to provide that service if we weren't here to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
it was just
Like,
I feel
you
like
can't make a living on Twitch if nobody's watching you. And so you can't be mad that people are watching you and not all of them are donating. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it. I feel like the numbers dropped for that. Like
Oh,
you
for
see
sure.
the live count. I feel like people went and burned merch and stuff.
Oh, people were not
Yeah,
happy with it. Like people in streams, like she did later streams and stuff, and she like her chat was like here and there. People would be like, "Yo, why haven't you apologized?" And like, "Why aren't you apologizing?"
Well, she's
yeah.
just,
And
I'll tie it all back together with a big bow. That's like the same. One big dono. That's the. There we go. Now we're gonna tie it all
yeah,
back in.
$1,000 donation.
Because then you get people like that who donate like $1,000 that you can't ignore,
Hmm.
right? And they'll be like, "Oh, why did you apologize?" With that big dono, and you can't ignore that.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
dude, that bro, that's the way. Let's all pitch in $1,000 and let's do it.
You're really funny.
PC parts.
All right.
Heck yeah.
Now we're back full circle. We
Back
can end
full
it.
circle. Yeah. Well, it went a lot longer than I thought, and
Yeah, we got a full episode in.
I'm gonna say, this is, I think, like the start. Like most of the stuff we talked about today is more of stuff that I'm passionate about. So, like
Yeah.
really
Oh,
passionate
yeah.
about. So that's how we got that good discuss. I think it was pretty good discussion, but and I'd say this again. I don't think that because you're a girl you can't stream on Twitch.
I don't think anyone's like here saying that's what you're saying. I think the point it's not the streamer necessarily.
Such people. It goes both ways.
It's
goes
it's
both
the
ways,
viewer.
yeah.
It can go both ways. Like you can be whatever gender and be an asshole, and that's just like the circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that you are a gender or a like I don't know. The fact that you are a streamer versus a viewer, whatever, you can still be in the wrong in a situation. And
Mm-hmm.
I think most people have the wherewithal to like discern whether or not we're actually like shitting on the premise of a female streamer,
Mm-hmm.
other like as opposed to analyzing a situation that involves a female streamer. I don't know. I think uh, to put a final cap on all this, simp culture is bad.
It's cursed. It's cursed.
And there's the title.
Yeah.
Simp culture.
is cursed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna probably put our period on this episode.
Heck yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you do watch,
Yeah.
Be sure to like and subscribe
You
and
like
hit
and
that
subscribe.
notification bell.
Okay, you don't have to do that, but
Yeah, you do.
well, yeah, please do it. It helps.
Yeah,
It helps
I'll
us.
do it for you.
It helps us,
Alright.
and it encourages us to keep making content like this.
Heck
But
yeah.
thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Follow Sam on Twitch, twitch.tv/swaggypup.
And Twitter at the.
I got none of that.
Those will be in the description. My Twitch will probably be in the description.
Everything will be in
too.
description.
Follow
my
Nick
Twitter.
too.
Yeah.
And feel free if you have $5 extra to spend.
Yeah, I'm not an affiliate yet, but if we can average 3 viewers for most of my streams for the rest of the month, maybe I could get affiliate, and then maybe I could start making money on Twitch, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe I could like Twitch more, and I could stream more, and I could have more content, and I could start posting content, because I've been doing a lot of speed runs, and speed running is fun for me right now, because I'm
Papa
very bored during
Louie's
quarantine.
Wingeria.
Yeah, baby.
Hell
And maybe
yeah.
maybe once I get my PC set up, I could actually start streaming other games that don't require like 2 megabytes of storage to play.
But, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, squad up. All right. Thanks for watching. Everyone have. I guess it's just Sunday. Have a good Sunday.
Have a good
All right.
Sunday.
No promises this is going up on Sunday, but that is usually the goal.
It's the hope.
It's the hope.
Yeah, man.
Star Wars: New Hope. I haven't seen Star Wars. All right. Bye, guys.